Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Adobe Live here on Behance. This is Sara Stewart.
Hi.
This is our first time on Adobe Live, so everyone in chat, please be nice. Give her a warm welcome.
Thank you.
You're like,
I'm happy to be here.
yes, and you've watched before, so you kind of know what's up.
I have. I've watched, and my partner's actually been both a guest and a host on here.
So it's like Adobe Live royalty.
It's like a family.
Yeah,
Cool.
I like that better. Cool. Freudy says circles of applause. Yes.
Ooh, I like the circles.
Everyone welcome. What's up, Renee? Matthias, hello. And if you are watching us, make sure you're watching on Behance. be.net/live is the best place to be hanging out with us. If you're new to Adobe Live, let us know by saying hello in the chat. Let us know where you're from. We've got Alicia from Austin, Texas. Awesome. Good to have you. We're streaming from San Francisco.
We are.
And we're going to be doing some fun stuff today. Not only are we going to be enjoying whatever Sarah's going to be sharing with us, we're also going to be doing a chat to win, or chat and win, and we're also challenging you to create a mer person, a mer creature.
MerMay.
Yes, during our challenge. So check out the challenge tab for more information on that, and we'll talk about it in a couple minutes. But first, Sarah, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I actually like seeing where people are from because that's one of the first things I like to talk about myself since I've lived a couple different places in North America. Just a couple. Yeah, so I'll start with where I'm from and then go a bit more into my art history. And I've actually got some treats for you guys that are super embarrassing for me, but I have some elementary school drawings that I found that I'd love to share to show you guys where people can start from in terms of their art career to see what that's like, which is fun, I feel like.
When you said treats, I thought you meant like you brought
Candies,
baked goods.
That would have been nice.
Like, well, you did say Martha Stewart.
Man,
Sarah
I feel like I let everyone down. I didn't bring any cookies.
But this is actually going to be a better treat, I think.
Go for
Better
it.
treat for all of us. We've got Aruba in the chat from Douchey. Hello. McKinley, Seattle.
Lots of different places.
Vincent,
All right.
San Jose. Sweet.
So I'm from Vancouver, Canada originally, but I've lived in Vancouver, Toronto, Seattle, the Hudson Valley of New York, Maryland, upstate New York City, and now San Francisco. So quite a few places. I also lived in Japan for actually 6 weeks as well, studying abroad.
That
so
counts. So
it
9
does.
places.
Yeah, 9 places. I like to move every year, at least every year, give myself a hard time.
At least every year.
Yeah, usually, actually, I think since I was 12, I've moved every single year of my life.
And
so.
that's not a traumatizing thing to you.
Not at this point. At this point, it's the norm, so I'm very used to it.
That's true.
But yeah, I'm actually going to be moving again in a month, as per usual. So I'll be moving to Asheville, North Carolina, which I'm super excited about. So if anyone knows anything about Asheville, please let me know because I want to hear more about it and hear about how great a place I'm moving to
Yes.
is.
Only good things.
Yes, please. Only good. I don't want to hear the bad. I'll find out the bad when I move there.
Yeah, you'll experience it. So that'll be 10 moves, I think, that you just
It's a lot.
listed.
Yeah.
Totally. Glenna says North Carolina is great. Dana says Asheville has great beer.
Yeah.
Kyle's a big Asheville fan.
Sweet.
Good. Sounds like a good place.
All right, and now a little bit about my art career, which is also a little bit strange. I like having non-traditional journey paths. So let's see. I started drawing when I was in elementary school, a kid. I was very inspired by anime, manga, and video games, like every other nerd my age, and fantasy books, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good childhood to have with all this fantasy and sparkling magic around you. It gets you very inspired to draw. And so I drew a lot as a kid, but my parents were never super supportive about me pursuing art.
Yeah.
And so I had to convince them that I would make money drawing and having an art career. So I did some research and I found a career path called medical illustration, which is a mix of science and art.
Yeah.
And so that's what I ended up going to college for at RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology in upstate New York, where I dissected cadavers, I observed surgeries. I actually worked in an emergency department for 6 months to scribe doing the night shift from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m., which was pretty rough.
Oh, what does that mean, a scribe?
So I would basically follow the physician around to every patient and write down all the patient's history, complaints, and also do all the paperwork for them as far as discharge or admitting them to the hospital. So I got to see a lot of interesting cases. I got to see a lot of different stuff. So it was really great for the medical background.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, Heidi says, yes, medical illustration.
Nice.
Totally. That's actually, I think, if you want to stay like in illustration, you don't necessarily want to go to graphic design and like make money. I feel like medical illustration is the thing.
Yeah, it's a really good career. It's very niche, so the community is really great. There's the Association of Medical Illustrators, which has a conference every year, and I kind of know everyone from the conference at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone who usually goes, and so it's like a nice family reunion in some ways.
Aw, yeah.
Yeah, and so it was really nice niche, but as far as moving my career upwards, it's kind of tough because it is a smaller community, and so when I wanted to expand my skill sets past what I was doing day to day, I decided to explore design a bit more intensely. And so working as a medical illustrator at my first job, I worked in a small agency of 25 people where I would basically take the intake of any project that was usually with a pharmaceutical company, a physician, or a client working with one of those two. And we would talk about either a specific drug or patient education or something else that needed some medical expertise. And I would do a project outline and work with a team of industrial engineers, graphic designers, animators to come up with what we would do as a solution for the project. And so I think behind me you guys can see one of my 3D models that is an eye model that I created. So yeah, that was one of the projects I worked on at my first job out of college, where I created an anatomical eye model that was a cross-section to show different retinal diseases for a pharmaceutical company called Regeneron that treated different retinal diseases.
Wow.
And one of the coolest experiences still to this day is walking into my optometrist or my eye doctor's office and seeing my eye model there and being like, I made that. That's really cool.
Whoa, did they not believe you?
She did. And then she started talking to me about retinal diseases, and she was like, oh my gosh, you're so knowledgeable, you know more than some of my assistants. And I was like, well, that's not good, but I'm glad that I know
Don't
that.
tell me that.
Yeah. So yeah, I studied medical illustration. I worked at an agency. I started doing more app and animation work. And from there, I worked at NYU Langone Medical Center as a user experience lead, working on revamping their Find a Doctor tool. So that was when ZocDoc came out and was doing a really good job of recommending doctors and physicians to lay people who don't understand medical terminology, because no one wants to know medical terminology. People just want to know that they can get the right help they need for whatever ailment they have.
Right.
And so I worked on redesigning that whole tool and the website for them. And then I decided I wanted to try something other than healthcare to make sure that my skills were still applicable anywhere else. So I jumped into manufacturing distribution design. So the factory software that you use when you're on a production line or managing workers' time in a factory, I started working on designing that, which was super different.
Yeah, and the full just experience of that, or specifically the graphic aspect of it?
So the whole experience of it, we would go on site. So I'd do a lot of ethnographic site research where I'd go into the factory and observe how people actually interact in the space.
Yeah.
And then we would design the software from the ground up. And so that was really cool. I got to travel around the world too because we had a lot of UK clients, which was really nice. And then I decided that I wanted to come to Adobe. And I'm actually currently a designer at Adobe working on integrations, which is anytime Adobe's features and services are in third-party products. And so an example of an integration that exists today is Creative Cloud files, so like any assets that you share, can be shared easily in Microsoft Teams, which is Microsoft's version of Slack. And we have a couple other coming out that I can't talk about right now, but extensibility is going to be really big at Adobe. We actually just announced a fund for, I think it's 10 million.
Oh yes, this is cool.
Yeah, any designer or developer who wants to develop or design an extension for an Adobe product can be funded if you submit to this program and get accepted, which is really great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where I am now. And as of this week is my last week at Adobe. I'll be leaving. And
nice to meet you.
I'm starting a company with my partner who's going to be here later today, actually, Logan Ferber. We started our own design and illustration studio, so I'll be taking my skills there with him. He's a very talented illustrator as well. And I'm super excited about this next big step. And to prepare for that, I'm starting to do more illustration, which is really, really great because that's what I want to do down the line.
Yeah.
But I've been in the design world for a while now.
That's so cool.
That's a lot.
Tried everything. Yeah, that was great. It was like life story, but basically your whole life has been art, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. I feel like even though it's been a non-traditional path, I've done a lot of different stuff, and I've really been able to kind of dig into whatever I want to do. I also, as a side project when in New York City, worked on a VR platform that was pretty cool called Turn that I can actually probably pull up.
Yeah, let's do it.
So VR was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. And there was a technology that some really two developers from Firefox developed to allow any really non-coder to develop in VR. And so you use simple markup, which is HTML and CSS, to create VR environments. So that's what we did. We used, and this is our product that we created, where I wanted to create an ability to have artists take pictures of their artwork, upload it to a VR gallery, and then have anyone go to that gallery and be in that space with the artist and talk about the work. I thought that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So we ended up building a beta, and we had this whole process. But I'll show this one. Henry 56 was a gallery in New York City that we went to, and we were able to collaborate with the person there to take pictures of the artwork that was currently on display in our space, which was this bone piece by Anne Lise Cost. And so she had a quote that I incorporated here. But if you were to wear virtual reality glasses, you could actually like move around the space. On a computer, it's not as cool.
I think it's still pretty cool.
So yeah, I did all the 3D modeling, and then I developed it in A-frame as well. And so this is live. If you want to check out turn.me, and turn is spelled with a V, like the old Roman style. And then if you were to click on any of the artwork, it would bring you to the artwork in the space. So we were playing around with this beta and playing around with the technology, which was a lot of fun.
Wow, so these are the actual pieces of artwork that they've uploaded.
Yes, so we took pictures of the artwork, and then the idea is you'd be able to kind of, if it was a 3D object like a sculpture, you'd be able to do some simple modifications or editing. If it was a piece of artwork, you could pick like the canvas that it was placed into. And then you'd be able to pick the environment. So we had some generic gallery spaces, or you could pick something a bit more interesting, like this one's a little broken, but
It's a little broke to broke.
You're able to play with characters. So say I wanted to be a seahorse. I could be a seahorse on a desert island. And so this was another world that we created just for fun. And so voice chat was enabled in this one. So if you were in the space together, you could talk to one another.
Would you see each other?
You would see each other, actually. And
that's
it's a placeholder piece of artwork I did in college.
Nice.
Just to prove out the space. So this is me playing around with different technology, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Clay Design is our company that we started, so we have a website. We recently released a mobile game, which I'm wearing a pin of, called Bento Blocks.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool game based on an old Japanese puzzle called shikaku. And so what you do is you want to fill in different circles based on the numbers on the screen. So it's a fun little interactive game. We had our friend Kevin DeNicolo, who has a record label, do all the music for the game. So the music's really rad too. So that's a really fun game. If you want to download it, it's on the App Store for iOS only right now.
It's available. That's awesome.
These are some of the 3D models that I created. So this is a model I created first in Maya, then I brought it into ZBrush for final painting. I don't know how familiar everyone is with 3D programs, but Maya Cinema 4D and Blender are the real powerhouses in the 3D industry. But ZBrush was actually created for artists to be able to do 3D modeling. So if you want to get an introduction into 3D modeling, I highly recommend it because it's way more sculptural.
Yep.
They actually have a free version too called Sculptress, which is really cool.
Nice.
But you can paint directly on models. You can like push and pull clay almost in a certain way,
Much
which
more
is
like
really
clay.
nice.
Yeah, I took a 3D modeling class in school, and it started with Maya. In like 2 weeks, and I was like, bye, I can't do this. But if we started with ZBrush, maybe it would have been different.
ZBrush is also complicated, I'm not going to lie. All
Yeah.
3D modeling programs are really, really needlessly complicated, I would say. But once you get the hang of it, it becomes a lot easier. So I also have that eye model. There's a website called Sketchfab where you can upload models. It's really neat. And they'll actually place it in a space for you, create this 3D viewer for you for free where you can embed anywhere. They allow you to do annotations. So if I want to call it different anatomical places on the eye, like the optic nerve, the macula, so on and so forth, you can do so. I also have a lymph node, which
little cutie.
He's pretty cute, I think. So this was also created. The base shape was created in Maya, and then I brought it into ZBrush. I could go into the details of that, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I will. I created the base shape in Maya because a problem with animations is if your models are too dense, it all animates very slowly, and it takes up way more memory to do anything with that model. And so the simpler you can create your base model, and then you can add layers of displacement maps and details on top in more memory efficient ways, the better off you're going to be if you want to move it around or do anything complex with it. If you're just using this as like an illustration, you just want to take a picture of it and draw on top of it in Photoshop to create something for like a poster, then it doesn't matter as much. You can start in ZBrush. But if you're going to create an animation, I highly recommend the workflow of doing like either Cinema 4D, Blender, or Maya into ZBrush if you want to do that detail work. It seems like some people are familiar with these 3D programs.
Yeah, Annie uses Cinema 4D, Alias, and Wavefront. Are those other softwares?
Those are other ones. I have not played with those.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. So send us a message in chat if you have ever ventured into the realm of 3D modeling.
Yeah. I'm interested to hear about it because I do feel like it's a really useful tool for artists, and it's really fun to play with new technology like this because you can do so much with it. If you create a model and you want to draw it from different perspectives, you then can just rotate the model and use it as reference, which is really great.
Yeah, it's like the perfect model. Rob uses Cinema 4D. Oh, nice, Rob. Didn't know you
cool.
dabbled in the 3D. Olivier says hello from Canada. Nice. And so you're talking about 3D right now. Do you want to introduce the chat into what you're going to be doing this week, which might include 3D, maybe?
Yes, it might. I definitely want to try to incorporate 3D because we have this wonderful program called Dimension here at Adobe that I really think would have been so useful for me at my first job out of college. It would have made my life so much easier because a lot of our time was spent just setting up a beautiful render to send to the client to show like what this product could be. So I'd grab the model base from the industrial designer. I would do the 3D model. And then I would also grab like decals from the graphic designer and put it all together in one program. And it was really difficult to do.
Right.
So having a program like this makes it super easy. And I want to teach all of you how easy 3D can be, especially with this new tool. So what I want to do the next 3 days is today I want to work on showcasing some of our mobile apps like Photoshop Sketch and Illustrator Draw to do some pattern work. I want to do some patterns maybe inspired by MerMay, maybe inspired by my interest in like xenomorphs and other creepy horror movies.
Oh gosh.
And maybe some more like beach scenes, like
just
whales.
some casual beach scenes and
seaweed.
xenomorphs.
Oceans, xenomorphs, cats, those are like my favorite things. So
Cool.
they might gravitate in that direction.
Awesome.
Unless there's any objections from chat.
Chat.
So we'll do the pattern work today where I'll just be drawing and sketching some stuff. Maybe you guys can give me some feedback on what you'd like to see. Tomorrow I'll work on vectorizing all that stuff and preparing it for applying those decals to different objects in 3D space. Also tomorrow, if I have time, I would love to show you guys how to create simple 3D models using Illustrator and Photoshop, which not many people know you can do.
Yeah, did you know? I didn't know until she told me like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, so we can do simple line work in Illustrator, bring it into Photoshop to convert it to a 3D object, and then import that 3D object straight into Dimension. And so if you wanted to create your own like custom bottle shape or anything along those lines, we can show you that and show you how to do that.
And you say we, but it's really just you.
Me, I can
Me
help you
can
out.
show you.
True. Well, you'll know eventually too, and then you can teach people
That's true.
as well.
Yeah, I think I will. I'll be equipped.
Exactly, you'll be prepared.
Yeah, MJ says, I didn't know that you could do that. So there we go.
Yeah, and Dimension's really great. You can do a lot of different stuff with it. We can also browse Adobe stock in Dimension for free objects that people have offered up, so we can pull some of those into our scene. And then we'll, create some 3D renders and go from there. I also wanted to let everyone in chat know that you can also get a free version of Cinema 4D if you have a version of After Effects.
What?
Yes, so there's a way of opening Cinema 4D from After Effects, which I'll show you, where you get a free light version of Cinema 4D through your After Effects subscription. So you can also jump into Cinema 4D if you're interested in that to see what 3D modeling will be like in there.
Yeah, just to dabble. Very cool. Everyone's so excited to see what kind of magic you're going to produce.
Woo, magic.
Super magic. So we have about 10 minutes left. You can see the little countdown over there on the screen until we're going to do our chat and win. And if you're new to Adobe Live and not sure what that is, basically we're asking you to come into chat, participate, ask questions, because Sarah's obviously very knowledgeable. And you have her here all week to ask questions for free.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and then she's leaving Adobe, so that's literally it.
I'll actually be hosting next month too, so I'll still be around and be in the family.
So never mind. But still ask your questions now, because why not? So in about 8.5 minutes, we'll be picking a random winner from chat, people who are active, and that person will win some free mobile app stickers. We have Photoshop Sketch and Illustrator Draw. These are awesome. Yeah, I just got some and I'm like scared to put them on anything because it's not special enough.
Aw.
Yeah, and then we're also going to be giving away this Illustrator lapel pin.
I didn't know we had pins. That's so rad.
Little mnemonic pins. Super cool. So you'll get all 3 of those if you are chosen. In about 8 minutes, we'll do the chat and win. So stick around and log into Behance if you haven't yet so that you can chat. Cool.
Sweet. So in the remaining time before the break, how about I get some common questions or misconceptions you guys might have about 3D in the chat? I'd love to like answer some of those questions.
Yeah.
But while we do that, I'm going to go into my embarrassing backlog. I mean, this all looks cool, right? But
Pretty
you want to
cool.
see where I came from? Because I came from the same place as everyone else. And I have some drawings to prove it. I'm going to go into the backlog, into my Google Drive to pull out some elementary school drawings. I used one of the first online digital drawing applications called Oikaki, which is a Japanese word. And so I basically had paint and I would draw with that. And I created some really embarrassing creations that I'm going to share with you today.
A tablet or just your mouse?
I actually had a Wacom tablet at this age. So when I was about 11 or 12, I got my first tablet and I started drawing a ton of anime characters, as you can see, and dragons, because dragons are super cool.
True. Elves, we talked about.
Yeah, Link, definitely a Link fan. I did a little self-portrait, which I thought was super cool at the time because I had pink hair and I was like, I'm moody. This is great.
And I'm wearing stripes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just drew all the time. I knew it wasn't the best stuff, but I had so much fun drawing that I just continued at it. And obviously I learned a lot over the years, but it's really cool to see and have these drawings on my computer so I can go back and reference like where I came from and see what that's like.
Yeah, definitely. Did you post these anywhere besides the... What was it called? Oikaki?
They were Oikaki boards, and you could do group drawings with people, so it'd be like one big, basically whiteboard where you could draw with a bunch of people, and it would save some like time lapses of all that stuff. I think I posted these to my live journal. That sounds about right.
Live journal or Zanga. I had a DeviantArt.
One of those. Or maybe my Neopets fan page or my GeoCities fan page.
Yeah, my first like digital art was Neopets art.
Neopets were amazing.
Yeah, I had a mutant Ursel, I think is what it was called, or Usual or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like my OC.
So you know all the different paints you had in Neopets where you could shade your creatures different colors?
Yeah.
That's the concept in 3D modeling of like a shader. And so the concept of 3D modeling actually kind of originated with Neopets. Neopets was the first to socialize that kind of concept, which is really rad.
Very cool. And to capitalize on them because you had to buy them. Or you could find them sometimes, I guess.
That's true. They did cost a lot of money.
Yeah, super. Especially feels like a baby brush. Anyways.
Yeah, do we have questions that I can answer at this point? Or
Yeah. Let's see. Suba's wondering, this isn't really 3D related, but what does everyone use for painting, Illustrator or Photoshop? I find it easier to use Illustrator despite the fact that it has less brush options.
Yeah, so for painting, really there's 2 reasons you would use either Illustrator, I almost combined the 2, Illustrator or Photoshop. Photoshop is raster based, whereas Illustrator is vector based. And so the difference between the 2 is vector can scale at any size and retain clarity, whereas raster, it gets pixelated if you blow it up. And so whenever you do anything that's going to live on the web, generally you want to do something vector based. But if you're going to be doing something at a size that's never going to change, or you're doing something for print, generally you would stick to raster. That's my thought process.
Yeah. So what do you think about the texture issue? Like how maybe Illustrator you can't get the same kind of painterly textures in Photoshop.
Yeah, I think that's very true. I generally, when I want to go for a more textured piece, will either do a traditional painting because I love actual brushstroke, or I will use Kyle Webster's brushes, which are amazing. Thank you, Kyle. They just have so many cool textures, and you can make it like look completely different depending on the type of brush you're using. I love the pencil texture on the iPad, actually. I feel like it does a really good job. And
It's
so
really realistic.
that's what I would go with.
Totally. And it's not impossible to use raster images on the web. Just have to like really kind of plan for it.
Yeah.
It could break easier. Glenna wants to know, do you have any 3D animations, or have you ever done 3D animation?
I have. Oh my gosh, I could pull that up actually.
You could, but will you?
Let's see. I do, and they're terrible, but I will show you because you asked.
Yeah, it's all about transparency here.
This is a gallbladder animation I did for school where I had to show different variations of how vasculature could connect to the gallbladder.
Well.
And it's very short. But
So it was really like you were just kind of showing the entire model.
Yeah, it was learning how to do rotation in Maya at the time because we were learning these 3D programs in college. And so that was the extent of that animation.
Right.
I also had an animation of, again, another rotation of being able to show wireframes and occlusion, which is just cool shading based on how close the geometry is to each other.
Right. The darker it is, the more.
The closer the vertices are together,
Yeah.
or the different edges are together. But I was really proud of this wasp. I thought it was pretty cool looking.
Yeah,
and I
it is
modeled
sweet.
it from scratch.
Nice.
Then the last animation I have is this simple clamp animation. This is all I have on my Vimeo.
Oh, nice.
I worked on animations for work, which I don't have downloaded to my machine, one of which was a drug called Prialt, is snail venom that is injected into the spinal cord of end-stage cancer patients
Whoa.
as pain management, as a non-opioid alternative.
Yeah.
And so I worked on the art direction of that whole animation, and made 3D models for it, but we had an animator who did the whole animation part of it. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I've also done like After Effects animations and other things on my own, but mostly I did art direction for the animator when I was working on animations.
Nice. And H6 says, were these made in Dimension? But they were Maya, right?
Yeah, these weren't made in Dimension. Dimension's a brand new product. This is old stuff from college. I graduated in 2012, and these were made in Maya. All these animations were made in Maya at the time.
Gotcha. And Jamie wants to know, how long did it take you to get used to working in a 3D form?
It's a great question. It's not something easy to jump into. I feel like if I hadn't have been forced to learn it in college, it would be really hard for me to get into it now.
Right.
But Devin Coe is an amazing designer and 3D artist who's offering a 3D for designers course. That's
Cool.
pretty affordable, and it goes through a bunch of different easy techniques for designers to pick up 3D. For me, it took, I would say, about a year to get used to 3D, and I'm still learning more things as I'm picking up new programs.
Right.
But once you learn like the language of one 3D program, it's a lot easier to snowball into the others,
Right,
which is nice.
Cool. I think it's totally possible for anyone to start.
Totally, 100%. I believe in all of you to pick up 3D in like the next month if you dedicate some time to it.
Heck yeah. Do it. 3D June.
Especially with Dimension, they make it super easy for you.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great way to just start, especially if you already have a CC subscription. Just
yeah, just
play
try
around
it
with
out.
it.
Just
Totally.
play around.
And we're gonna be playing with it in 2 days.
Yes.
So that's great. And we have about 10 seconds left until we're going to be doing our chat and win. So if you're not logged in on Behance or be.net/live, if you want to come on over, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you log in with your Adobe ID or your Google or your Facebook and say something in chat. Feel free to ask questions. We've been doing that for the last couple minutes. And somebody's going to be receiving some stickers and an
Nice.
Illustrator pen. Cool.
I'm
so
so
we're going to...
jealous.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we can find one around here.
Woohoo.
Who knows, on the floor somewhere. So we're gonna play a little intro and then get to chatting, because someone's gonna win. Awesome, welcome back. So everybody, make sure you're chatting to win. Someone's gonna be winning this sticker set and the lapel pin. People are going crazy, love it. MJ says, pick me. Yes, that new intro video is so cool. Love it. So in a couple minutes, we will have a winner for you. It's picked randomly. And then before we jump into more questions and 3D talk, I just want to remind you all that we are doing the challenge today. So if you're on be.net/live, you're looking in the chat pod, go up and click on the challenge tab. The challenge today is to create some sort of mer creature, merman, merwoman, mer person, mer thing, using the brushes that Kyle has provided for MerMay. So we have a link for the brushes. We have a link for you to download Photoshop Sketch if you'd like to try it. It's free in case you don't have Photoshop, but you could also use Photoshop to do this. So you can see some of the submissions. These two are for this stream. Awesome. I'll even refresh it, see if there are more. But we had a lot of awesome submissions last stream. Maybe get a little bit of inspiration. And so in about, I'd say an hour, when the timeline or the deadline hits, we'll start looking at them, and Sarah will pick a winner.
Yay! I'm excited to look through all these. They look beautiful.
Yeah, the color palettes are great.
Yeah, lots of oceany colors, lots of cool textures. My fave.
Totally. So we will be doing that in about an hour. So keep working on your mer people, get them submitted, and you can find more info in the challenge tab. Cool. All right, so back to your work.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw Joshua say 3D is terribly intimidating, and I am so sad you feel that way, because I feel like it's really not, and I really want to make it easy for you guys this week. Today we're going to start with the sketching part, but if you want to tune in the next 2 days, I'll be focusing on the 3D side, and it'll be really easy and unintimidating if you like to jump in and see how it can be incorporated.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, so we have our winner, and this is someone I actually recognize from chat. So do you want to read the name of the winner on the little teleprompter?
H6.
H6.
Woo!
Congrats, you are the winner, and I think you asked a question earlier. So awesome. You have won this Photoshop Sketch, Illustrator
Congrats.
Draw, and Illustrator lapel pin. Woo woo.
Yay!
Yeah, be on the lookout in your Behance messages. Adobe Live will message you soon to get these sent over to you. And
Nice.
yeah, and if you didn't win, don't worry. We do a chat and win pretty much every stream. So you have 2 more chances today, and then obviously Wednesday and Thursday as well. And something I love about the chat is people are so supportive. They're like, congrats.
Aw, yeah, everyone's so nice.
I love it. You're
I love
all
it.
great. Cool. Darina says 3D is really hard. I've had some attempts in 3ds Max and Maya, but ultimately I feel like ZBrush is kind of the easiest to use.
I do feel like ZBrush is the easiest for artists to jump into, so definitely try out ZBrush, and they have a free version called Sculptress if you don't want to spend any money before trying it out. I highly recommend playing around with Sculptress.
Yeah.
But again, you get a free license of Cinema 4D with After Effects, so Adobe also includes that in its subscription, so why not play around with that as well? That'd be really cool.
Very cool. Awesome.
Cool. Well, I think it's probably time that I start jumping into doing some drawing
Yeah,
at
let's
this
see.
point. Let's see if my pen is connected to my iPad. It looks like it is.
Great.
So I'm going to be using Photoshop Sketch today to do some doodles of some patterns that we're going to be incorporating into our 3D models.
There it is.
This is some of my catalog of weird drawings I've been doing lately. I've done some landscapes.
Oh, wow.
Which was a lot of fun using the different brushes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I should showcase this a little bit. That was fun. I
Nice.
think I drew this while watching Mulan.
Oh, cool. For a reason or just because you're inspired?
Oh, it was like a nice, relaxing weekend night. I was watching Pocahontas, Mulan, and The Road to El Dorado all in a row.
Such a good one.
Yeah, those are all really good movies to me.
Nice.
I'm also working on some toothbrush concepts, which is really interesting. So I had to break down the mechanics of how a toothbrush would work.
Right, and you said you were learning a lot about brushing teeth.
I am, yeah.
Like what?
I didn't realize 2 minutes was the time you're supposed to brush your teeth.
Oh.
I thought it was longer than that.
Oh.
So I've been brushing way too long.
Really? You brush more than 2 minutes?
I do, yeah. I take my time, I guess. I want to make sure I get it all.
Get around the whole thing.
Yeah.
Circular motions.
And then the motions of what you're doing when you're holding the brush, different orientations matters. And so when it's upright, you want to go back and forth. But when it's sideways, you want to do circles, which I
Oh.
did not know. I've just been like kind of going all over.
Right.
So.
Have you ever tried to brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand?
I have, only when I'm like busy doing something and
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah.
work out. It's like I'm not brushing my teeth at all.
No, I end up like making my gums bleed because I'm like, I
Gosh, that's
can't
terrible.
do this.
It's a bit intense.
Wayne says my electric toothbrush says 2 minutes. Confirmed.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm learning 2 minutes is the standard, I guess.
Yeah, Tim says more than 2 minutes. Is that legal? Not in Germany, Tim. Not where you are.
I drew some fun stuff. This is actually a sword from the game Skyrim, if anyone knows that.
If anyone knows that.
Yeah. I'm a big nerd, if you haven't picked up on that already. And so game references are very constant in my work.
Is a snake connected to the sword in the game?
It is not, no. I just wanted a sword for this layout because it's kind of like I've seen this laid around and I wanted to play around with the idea of the scales on the snake. Because I love pattern work. I love detail work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so texture really gets to me. And so when I needed a sword, I was like, well, I want it to be interesting. Why not look for reference in Skyrim?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun to draw.
Nice, yeah. Heidi says, wow, that snake skin texture, though.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I wonder if I can show a quick time lapse of this guy.
Ooh, sweet.
I probably started with something unrelated because that's usually how these sketches go. No,
Oh, you went straight
away.
into it. Boom.
Nice.
And you said that you had just kind of been recently working on mobile.
Yes. So previously I've been using Wacom tablets, not the Cintiq, but just the Wacom ones. And so I've been playing with mobile, and I use reference photos for everything that I do. It's actually pretty easy to pull in reference photos into the mobile applications as well, which is nice. But yeah, I've been starting to play around with Photoshop Sketch, Illustrator Draw, and they're super nice and handy to have on the go. So I'll throw my iPad in my purse nowadays, and on the train I'll be able to draw, which is super nice.
Right.
I love the idea of just whenever I have free time being able to sit down and draw. So.
Yeah, that's my thing is I like to have like a bunch of colored pencils and pens and paintbrushes, and I never want to actually sit down and draw because I know I have to get all of this stuff.
It's a lot to carry, yeah. I used to carry on bags full of art supplies, and I just felt like a bag lady, so...
You were a bag lady.
Yeah, this just slips in the purse, no one knows it's there, so it's really discreet and nice.
They're like, look at her with her fancy iPad, and you're like, I'm drawing a snake.
Yep, snake and Skyrim sword. Don't mind me.
Oh, Ryan, that's true. It's like a mix of the medical symbol. I forget what that's called.
Oh,
Two snakes.
Yeah, it's a cross of some sort, right? It's a medical cross and a snake wrapping around it. Yeah, actually, I should know where that's from, and I don't.
I think it starts with an A. We were actually just talking about this because we were in Spain, and whenever we would pass by like pharmacies, it was the snake, but it looked like it was wrapped around a martini glass.
Oh.
And we were like, what? But I think it was more like a mortar and pestle kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
That would be confusing to me too. Yeah.
It was. We were like, why is this snake in a martini glass? Yeah, for
Drinking
a pharmacy. Anyways, cool.
Yeah, so I played around with a couple different backgrounds before deciding on the final one for that guy. But yeah, drawing on the iPad is actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. It's just getting used to the different ways of working compared to working on pencil and paper.
Right.
But yeah, let's play around with a square format.
Totally.
And I'm not sure how familiar everyone is with these applications, so I'm just going to go through what I'm doing as I'm doing it.
Please do.
Yeah, so you're able to load on the Kyle Webster brush pack onto your iPad. And I can't remember the steps specifically, but Kathleen can help you out with explaining how to do that.
Yeah, or if Kyle's in chat.
That's true, he is in chat.
Yeah,
so.
but it's super simple. Basically, you're going to long press on one of the brushes and click, I think, the plus sign and just add more brushes or get more brushes. And if you're logged in with your CC subscription, you should just be able to navigate to the Kyle brushes. Really easy.
I see someone knows the history of the snake and staff.
Ah.
The rod of, I'm not going to pronounce this right, Asclepius?
Asclepius? But yes, starts with an A. I knew that. The Greek god of medicine and healing, hence the symbolism. Snakes then symbolize rejuvenation. Anissa, thank you.
Nice, thank you.
Appreciate it. You're all so helpful and smart.
Yeah, I should remember these things for the next time they get asked.
Yeah, right.
So if I hold down on the brush, I can browse through this huge catalog of different brushes that Kyle's offered us, which is amazing. I'm going to look for a good charcoal or pencil brush because I love pencils.
Right, especially this one. So intuitive.
Yeah. And I actually have a grayscale swatch library for when I'm doing drawings in... Oh, I picked that brush already. Drawings in pencil. So if I go to my library when I'm doing the color picker... Oh, my internet connection is not...
Oh no!
Never mind, I'll have to create a new one. That's fine.
Easy enough.
So what I would do is I would go to this center mark of the color picker and then generally just go through and pick a bunch of different variations of the gray to have different charcoal levels, basically.
Great.
Where did that end up going?
In your themes?
Do you want to connect to the Wi-Fi?
Sure. If it's easy, we can connect to the Wi-Fi real quick.
Cool. So we'll pop over to my screen, maybe, while we do this. And we can look at some of the submissions that have come through so far. We got Paco coming to the rescue.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paco. All right, so here is the gallery so far, and we have 2 submissions so far. Let's see, we have about 50 minutes left to get your submissions in. Like I said, if you don't know what the challenge is, it's to create some sort of mer creature to celebrate MerMay. And so you can see here there's a lot of mer creatures created, lots of different styles, but they all have a similar texture in common because they use the Kyle brushes that were for MerMay. So you can download the brushes, you can download Photoshop Sketch, which is free, which is what Sarah is using, and create some sort of creature in the next about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour.
I'm really looking forward to seeing like non-conventional ones. I'm a big fan of changing it up. I've seen some hilarious ones of like the top half being the fish and the bottom half being the human, which I think is super great.
Somebody said that in chat. They're like, are we allowed to do that? I forget what they called it. But yes, do it. Why not?
Does it have a particular name, I wonder?
Yeah. Let us know.
Cool. So I want to do some pattern work, as I mentioned to everyone. And so I have written down, I'm just going to write down what I have written down, and you guys, or everyone can let me know what they think of these themes. But cats, alien, and I'm specifically talking about xenomorph, and then ocean / MerMay. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing some cats. Because I feel like cats are going to be something I'm going to draw even if no one else wants me to draw cats.
That's just what always happens. Cute. Yeah. Do you have a cat?
I have 2 cats. I am a crazy
about them.
cat lady. It's terrible, as in it's the best.
It's terrible, but the best as well.
Yeah, they were both strays. And so one was found in a dumpster in Williamsburg.
New York?
In New York. On my coworker's way to work, she saw a cat by a box by the dumpster, and when she got out of her car, because she almost like ran the cat over, and looked in the box, it was just a bunch of little baby kittens, and the mother kitten was standing outside like looking out for her babies to make sure that they were getting taken care of. Yeah, it was really sad.
Cool, so you grabbed one of those babies?
I did, yeah. We grabbed 2 actually. My roommate grabbed another one of them. They were so cute. So that's where Reese's came from. She was found around Halloween, actually right before Hurricane Sandy, so I'm really glad that we found her.
Right.
So she was named Reese's. The other one was named Snickers.
No, you didn't.
And Reese's has been a family member ever since, because she's adorable.
Yeah. What's her personality like?
She is too smart for her own good. That's her problem. She gets into trouble all the time. I have 2 cats. The other's Tyga, and she's literally the exact opposite, where she's too dumb, to be honest. She will be skittish and afraid of everything, and so when you run up to her, like walk up to her, she'll freak out and meow and run away.
Yeah.
So one of them is like tripping over stuff. The other is like getting into cabinets and things like that. So
wow, what a duo! It's like Pinky and the Brain.
Different. Very, very different.
Aww. And is it Tyga like the landscape?
It's actually based on an anime character.
Oh, which one?
Gosh, I'm gonna forget the name of it now, but it's Taiga. And she's a very moody character from an anime that we watched, and Toradora. It's a very cute, like, coming of age sort of anime.
Nice.
Embarrassing, but yeah, she's from that, and she's super cute.
She is cute, and possibly also very smart.
Maybe she's smart. Yeah, she can't take care of herself when it comes to like at-home activities and chores. Actually, can I have some ideas of what I should do in the cat patterns? We could have just cats, and I could do like different styles of cats, but I kind of want to do like a cat toy, or I could draw a litter box, but that's not fun.
Or is it? Let's see, what else is cat related?
If we could have some cat toy. I like the one that has like leaves and stuff attached to it, because they go crazy. This is just me sketching before doing final line work later.
Ideating. Glenna says little fish.
Fish should be great.
Aviv says smaller cats. Wayne wants us to rename the segment Nerd Light at Adobe Studios.
I mean, I feel like that would be kind of appropriate, and I'd be okay with it.
I'd be okay with it too. Every segment that I host, Nerd Light, please. Nora says mouse toys. What else? Maybe little paw prints. Little jelly beans. Nora says the little jingle balls that they have on their collars sometimes.
Oh, yeah, they have like a specific pattern to them, I feel like.
Yeah, right, that little like cross. Keep them coming, chat. What else?
I think I want to indicate sound.
Little music note.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a music note. I want it to be able to be patternized.
Oh, yeah, the little yarn ball. Totally Aviv.
Ooh. Yarn balls are fun because you can do a bunch of different textures and patterns.
Right. The yarn can be coming off of it.
True.
Cats. So you already have the whiskers in there. Like, I don't know how to draw catnip.
Catnip would just be like a bunch of stuff on the ground.
Yeah, some dirt on the ground that
Yeah.
they eat. What's up, Jim? How you doing?
I feel like this bell could be better.
Oh, a little bit of perspective. Nice. I like the music notes, like even if they're not super connected to the bell.
Cats do make a lot of noise.
They do, they talk a lot. Food bowls, water bowls.
Yeah, bowls. I like bowls with like little cute patterns on them.
A little can of tuna.
Tuna would be good.
Tuna does sound good. Right, meow. Right, meow.
Right, meow.
Yeah, Tim, you got it. We are reviewing portfolios on Thursday. So instead of a challenge, we will be reviewing a select few of your portfolios, which is always very exciting. Let's see. That's quite a few little options.
Yeah, so we've got a pattern starting.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to draw like a different style cat. Trying like chubbier cheeks and stuff like that.
I noticed your little like signature on your old elementary school art was like a little cat mouth.
It is literally
Gotta include that.
this guy.
Aww. That was
So
it? Like you
cute.
didn't even put your name or anything?
I had a name, but it was like my game handle. Gosh.
Of course it was.
Yeah. I had pink hair at the time, so it was Darkhound, Pink Darkhound, because Darkhound were creatures from a fantasy book I was reading.
Oh. Pink Darkhound.
Yeah, Darkhound, Pink Darkhound. So I'm just gonna start shading some of these with these cool pencil textures.
Right, so just by tilting your Apple Pencil, kind of
Yeah.
getting that shading texture.
Instead of having the hard line for some of this stuff, it's nicer to do the gradual shading like you would with an actual pencil.
Right.
Maybe the fish has some darker fins.
Cool. And Kyle says, depending on how far along things get, maybe you could show the time lapse at the end.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Especially since it's like so many little things getting drawn.
Yeah. I want to think about how we can apply this to a 3D model too. So this could be, I feel like I want to do bed sheets or like some sort of like towel or bed sheet sort of deal
Right.
with a bunch of cats on them. We could also do a box if it's some sort of like cat product, which would be really nice.
Yeah, cute. It'd be cute like wrapping paper.
Wrapping paper would also be really neat.
Martin says, so this is a cat grid. Yeah, we're making a cat pattern.
Yeah. Simple cat shapes that we're going to vectorize later and then do in 3D.
So is that your usual workflow? Kind of drawing and then vectorizing?
I always like sketching first, even though it's like rough sketches and I can add detail later. I like the act of just getting ideas out on paper.
Right.
I feel like it's really valuable to do that and to think about what you're going to draw in context too. So as you're drawing, you can't help but think about how it's going to apply down the line, which is really nice.
Yeah, this is awesome. And chat, if this is inspiring to you or if you've never worked with patterns before, you could work a pattern into your challenge submission. Make a MerMay pattern of some sort.
That would be cool.
Be sweet.
So we have some cats now. Let's move on to another type of pattern idea. And I'm gonna have to refine these guys, but we get the basic idea. Let's see what we like best. So we have cats. I want to do some sort of ocean stuff, and what I will do is I'll move this over a little bit.
So they're all on the same layer, and now you're just transforming it.
Yeah, I'm transforming it to move it over just so I can kind of have these patterns beside each other and look at them to see how they compare in just terms of like layout and what we got going on. So for the ocean, I want to do some maybe oysters. Would be great.
Yeah. Mollusks and things.
A nice pearl inside.
Ooh.
Some mussels, or actually mussels you can't really identify. Let's do some seaweed.
Oh yeah, that's great. Kind of unifying shape. Madison says, I think we need a mercat.
Mercat would be very cute.
Oh yeah. Martin says you could design pajamas. Put these cats on some cute little pajamas.
I like pajamas. Pajamas seem like a good idea. We could have fish again. Same in both.
Yeah. Boom. There you go. What else, Chad? What else is in the ocean besides, mermaids? More seaweed. Maybe even just like bubbles.
Bubbles would be cute.
Matthias says, everyone knows that cats will eat you if given the chance.
It's true. They go for the eyeballs first.
Nice
you
and
wanted to know.
succulent. Wow. How do you know this?
Terrible. It's terrible, but they go for soft tissue.
Yeah.
They wait till you're dead, though, so you don't need to worry until after you've died.
Right, but if a cat's ever licking your eyeballs.
That's a dangerous sign.
Yes.
Might be affection, might be that they want to eat you.
Yeah. Either way, cat tongue on the eyeball probably wouldn't feel great.
So I kind of want to do like a mer creature, but I want to do a very simple version of a mer creature.
Nice.
Like, I don't know if anyone's seen Ponyo,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to do like a cute little Ponyo mermaid. So
Yeah.
Ponyo is a Miyazaki film about a little fishy girl who turns into a human. It's basically a sea creature, but she's a very simple shape, and I think it's super cute.
She is cute. She also loves ham.
She does. I forgot about that. I haven't
Ponyo
seen that film in a little while.
loves I haven't either. It's time. It's time for a rewatch.
I guess so. For forgetting already.
Oh, cute. And then she's facing away.
Yeah, I'm trying to do some more perspective shots.
Mm-hmm.
Still trying to keep it pretty rough just to get the idea across.
Yeah, do you have a hard time, like, keeping your sketches as sketches?
Yeah, I mean, I look at this and I'm like, I can make this look so much better, but if
Yeah.
I just want to get the idea down, then it's better just to, like, sketch it out and refine it later. I think it's always good to show process because it lets people know that it doesn't need to be super refined when you're working on stuff, which is really great because you can get stuck on details and then never end up shipping something, which
Right.
I've done many a time. But yeah, I think it's good just to get the ideas down.
Right, and it also shows people how you think and how you solve design problems
It's true.
before it's done. Ooh, Glenna, great question. All right, so do you recommend the iPad and the Apple Pencil to sketch with? I want to use Adobe Sketch, and I'm thinking about getting an iPad to work on.
Yeah, I think it's super great to draw on. I think it's the handiest tool that we have today for digital drawing. The Cintiq is really, I don't know if you know what the Cintiq is, but the Cintiq is a really big tool for drawing. It's like this big. And so if you set it up, it's a big dedicated thing where you need to have real estate for it and you need to spend time drawing. Otherwise, it's not worth it getting out.
Yeah.
They have smaller versions as well, and then there are Wacom tablets that are about the same size, but they're about the size of a laptop if you get a decent sized one.
Right.
And so that's in addition to a laptop to be able to draw. So iPads make it so much easier to just put it in your purse and go and be able to draw wherever, which I think is the key, especially with people having busy lives. If you just want to make sure you draw constantly, it's really great to have the iPad and to just break it out when you have 5 minutes waiting for a train or 5 minutes waiting in a waiting room. It's those like small moments in life that you got to take advantage of to start drawing, to
Right.
get into the habit of doing it again.
Yeah.
At least for me, because I have a busy life. But yeah, I love the idea of being able to draw whenever I want to draw.
Right, and it kind of keeps you from getting too anxious about the process of drawing. Like I said, how I have to like get all these things out and then it's this big to-do, so it has to be good. It's like, no, with an iPad, you just pull it out, do your thing. No big
Cool.
deal.
So I'm going to shade a little bit here. But we have 2 patterns kind of going. What are we missing from these scenes? I feel like they're pretty sparse. What other objects can we include here?
Chat, what do you think? We got the ocean scene, we got the cat scene. What else we want? It could be anything. This is your time to shine, chat.
I know. Taking requests.
Right, you have the power. That's a great thing about Adobe Live. It's a two-way street.
Maybe a little seahorse.
Oh, seahorse. Jim says starfish.
Oh, starfish, of course. How could I have forgotten
So
a starfish?
simple. Yeah, treasure chest, shrimp, turtle, shark,
I like
man-o-war.
starfish.
Ooh.
Pretty big. I love jellyfish. Why didn't I think? Man, I think I'm gonna have to do 2 different layers of these patterns now because they're getting pretty big.
Right.
So I'm gonna hide the cat one for now and focus on this ocean one. I'm gonna scale it up a little bit and center it to continue our drawing. But jellyfish, hell yeah.
You're like, heck yeah, why not? Horseshoe crab, seahorse. Yeah, I think we're adding one of those, or maybe you were. Dolphin.
I was going to, yeah. I got distracted by the jellyfish.
Too many good ocean things.
Yeah, I love the ocean, so I'm gonna get super inspired by all these things, I think.
Yeah, and where you're moving in North Carolina, it's not super close to the ocean.
No,
is it?
that was the one downside. That was the one thing I was super worried about, was just not being near the ocean. And so I'm making a sacrifice, but there is a river running through town.
Perfect.
And we can get kayaks and go kayaking on the river, so
Yeah.
that's super nice.
Mm-hmm. It's a
But yeah.
different kind of aquatic life, but it counts.
Yes. Yeah, as long as there's some sort of aquatic life, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Squid, he has a funny face.
Squid, trident, coral, octopus. Someone really wants you to put a rocket in these.
A rocket.
It's not quite
an ocean rocket.
Yeah. Torpedo, I guess.
Submarine is firing on these poor creatures.
Oh no. Yeah, Kyle says, but Asheville has beautiful mountains.
I cannot wait to see the Smoky Mountains. That is what Asheville's known for.
Yeah. Have you seen them?
I have seen pictures. I've only seen pictures. I am actually moving somewhere before visiting. Isn't that kind of crazy?
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's the way I live. And fortunately, I would say.
Yeah, you're like,
fortunately.
no,
I
fortunately.
like it. I like it.
It's fun.
If I don't like it, I can always move. That's the worst case. And
Mhm.
moving is not so bad. Moving's not painful.
A lot of people would beg to differ.
It's true, I guess. I guess I might be unique in that thought process, but
Yeah. I kind of feel like once you move, like once you do it, it's done.
I disagree though, because I moved here a year ago from New York City. I sold everything because it was across the country and I didn't want to bring everything.
Right.
So I literally sold everything. Brought my 2 cats on the plane, and let me tell you, that was not fun.
Oof.
But it was an experience, and I'm glad I have them with me. And then, yeah, I've been here for a year, and I've decided I'm going to move back across the country again. So, not so bad, I guess,
Yeah.
to me, in my eyes.
Right. But I more meant that like moving is such a small part of the process. So like
Oh.
I don't think it should stop you.
Yeah.
Like the actual stress of packing things up and getting things places.
Mm-hmm.
It's just logistics. It's all right.
Yeah, logistics are the worst of it, right? So,
Yeah. Coming from someone who's moved from Ohio to California, back to Ohio to California again in the span of like 2
so
years.
you know what I'm talking about. You know what
Yeah.
it's like to move.
It happens. It's okay.
I'm forgetting some of the other recommendations. So we had seahorse, jellyfish, squid, starfish.
Let me see. Back in chat. Sea turtle, blowfish.
turtle. Blowfish would be super
Yeah,
cute too. I'm gonna end up
spiky.
drawing a lot of guys.
It's like not even going to be a pattern. It's just going to be a full
It's gonna
illustration.
be a little, yeah, illustration. I mean, it's still a pattern.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's true.
simplify this blowfish a
Oh,
lot.
he's spiky.
I gotta make sure his eye's cute, otherwise he's not gonna.
Little fugu.
There we go.
Coral reef. Yeah, some actual little coral pieces would be cool,
Coral
Anna.
would be nice. Coral's difficult to draw.
Yeah. It all looks so different.
Maybe
Ooh.
something along these lines.
Mm-hmm.
And we can shade in the background coral.
Right. And I feel like however you add colors will be helpful too.
Yeah, I agree. Color will make a big difference here. And we'll want to pick a color scheme. That's right. We're going to be using an Adobe product for that.
Heck yeah.
It used to be called Cooler, but now there's a product called color.adobe.com, which is super handy.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely want to show it to everyone.
Right. And I know we've talked about this a lot before, chat, but if you download Capture, you can just click on the color tool within it and take a picture, grab the colors from it, and use it anywhere. Ooh, sea anemone. That's a good one,
Sea
Ryan.
anemone. What do those look like?
It's like a spiky ball.
Spiky ball. Oh, those guys.
Mhm.
Like literally a big spiky ball guy.
Yeah. like
them.
the spiky fish, puffer fish,
Just like them.
but without the tail.
Yeah, I wonder how I can draw this in a simple way.
There you go. Have you seen the sea anemone that's in the fish tank upstairs on the second floor?
I did not know that we had a fish. No, I knew that we had a fish tank. I never looked inside of it.
It
I
looks
should
like,
go check that out.
It looks like a xenomorph.
Does it? I am so
it's-
interested.
Especially when it's on the glass and you can see its like inner workings suctioning to the glass.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh, that's so cool.
I
That's
don't
so
like
cool.
it. I like avoid it. I can't look at it.
Aw,
It's
poor
gonna haunt
guy.
me. I
He's
know.
trying to live.
I know it's not his fault. He lives in a fish tank. But he disturbs me.
Aw.
Anna says, this is making me hungry.
Oh no, sushi.
Oh yes, sushi.
Sushi's pretty good.
Agreed.
Eel. Oh man, eel is actually my favorite sushi.
Me too, Nagi.
Yeah, it's so good.
I agree. Ooh, Martin says Poseidon. The king of the ocean. You could add in
King of
there.
the ocean, yeah.
Just a cute little chibi Poseidon.
Could be looking out for the mer creature.
Mm-hmm.
Little Ponyo version.
Totally. We have 28 minutes left to get your submissions in for the challenge. Let me just see if any new ones have been submitted. Oh, yeah, we have one new submission. So there's a couple that we'll be looking at. We'll be doing maybe a little bit of critiquing, some reviewing, and ultimately we will pick a winner.
Woohoo. I'm excited to see. I'm drawing the ocean. You guys are drawing the ocean.
Oceany.
I love it. I'm drawing some electrical current around this eel.
Nice. Little zap zap.
Yeah, he would zap me. They are kind of scary in the ocean.
That's true. Living in those little caves.
Yeah, it's mostly that they look like snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sea snakes.
sea snakes for sure. They're cute, but they also scare me.
Mm-hmm. So do just normal snakes scare you?
Actually, no, I love snakes. My sister and mother are very afraid of snakes to the point of like, as a kid, I remember them screaming and running into the house when we had baby snakes in the yard.
Aw.
Yeah, and I picked them up and I kissed them because I'm not afraid of them at all.
Because you're a parcel tongue. It's
Yeah,
a big deal.
exactly. I was like, you guys are cute. You deserve love. People shouldn't be afraid.
Yeah. Especially when they're babies.
Yeah, they were so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Little baby animal anything are usually cute.
Usually.
I argue that any animal that's a baby is cute, but I could probably be proven wrong. I'm sure there's like one animal that is unfortunately not very pretty or attractive as a kid, but
As a kid. Kid animal.
but usually baby animals are super
That's subjective.
cute. True.
You know.
True. I think all baby animals are super cute.
I agree. It's hard for I'd be hard pressed to find one. But chat, maybe you know.
Yeah, if you know of any, I forgot the sea turtle. That's right. But if you know of any animals that are not very fortunate as babies, let me know and I will Google them.
Okay, we'll show them on screen for all
And then
of
I'll be
us.
like, oh, they're still cute.
Yeah. The only animal, no, I can't say that, but one animal that I really do not like how it looks, it's those microscopic, they look like manatees.
They look like manatees.
Does anyone in chat know what I'm talking about?
Oh, see, like the bear things.
Yes, those things. I
They're
do
called
not
something-
like those.
Why? They're so little.
I'm glad they're little because I do not want to see them.
They're cute. Real bears are scary. I've run into a real bear and I did the
Ooh.
wrong thing. I ran.
Oh no, did it chase you?
Thankfully not, because that would
gosh.
have been bad. But in Canada, they're a pest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just going through trash. It was a trash panda, but a big version of a trash panda.
Hello, Mr. Bear, don't kill me.
Yeah, he did not
Ooh.
kill me. He was friendly enough.
A tardigrade. That's what they're
Tardigrade,
called.
yeah, that's what it is.
Ooh, no, I don't like it.
Should I draw a tardigrade?
Please don't.
I don't know what they look like. They have like sort of a bear face and then like a weird, it's like a gummy bear, right?
Oh gosh.
They're just like a cute little gummy bear.
All right, chat, look away if you don't like microscopic creatures.
See, I made it look cute. Oh, it has a weird mouth. That's what the weird thing is.
That's the one weird thing
It
about
doesn't
it.
really have eyes either. I guess I gotta
Whoa.
delete these eyes.
Gonna close this tab as quick as I can.
So it has like a circle mouth and like, no, that looks like a sleeping bear.
Yeah, that's cute. Sleeping
It
bear
has like
too.
this thing going on. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Just Cyclops.
Just a Cyclops little bear.
Oh man.
Yeah, we'll do Cyclops bear over there. He's cute.
Then people are gonna be like, "What's that bear doing underwater?"
Tardigrade.
Yeah. Learn about it.
Yeah, we learned a lot in this stream.
That's true. Somebody did say at the beginning, it's only been 10 minutes and I've learned 5 things.
It's true. I like facts. Facts will always stick out to me and I'll bring them up.
Let's see. Babetta sea animal. Tim says that one is cute.
Babetta. That sounds cute.
Let's see. Oh,
Is it cute?
it's an artist's, like,
Aw.
let's
It's a
see.
fake one, but it's super cute
Yeah.
too.
Trying to make sure there's no not safe for work content on this page. Okay, cool.
Gotta be careful.
We're good. So cute. They're actually sculpted. That's amazing.
Oh wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're 3D printed or sculpted.
It says sculpted out of polymer.
Oh, whoa.
Polymer clay.
That takes a lot of time.
Heck yeah.
It's actually faster to do 3D modeling and then print it out nowadays for that kind of thing.
Wow.
I'm surprised.
There you go. Your daily cuteness.
So cute.
Eric says coral would be rad. Yeah, you added a little
I
coral
added
at
some
the bottom.
coral. Yeah, it's a weird shape for coral, so maybe didn't recognize it, but this is supposed to be the coral. It's a weird shape. Kind of looks like a upside down hair clip,
Yeah.
but with the color, it'll be obvious what it is.
Looks like a melted Bart Simpson.
Kind of, yeah. I like it though.
In the water.
I like the abstractness of
Me
it.
too. Just kind of adds a little visual element that you don't necessarily need to be like, that's coral.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do now is try to find some cool brushes to add a little bit of texture to some of this stuff.
Nice. Yeah, Martin, he says, are you going to add color? You're going to add texture first?
So I could add color in Photoshop Sketch, but I'm going to be bringing it into Illustrator Draw for vectorizing it. So I was thinking I would do color there, but we can talk about how we can pick color patterns as well. After I do some texturing, let's talk about colors and see if we want to start trying to do the colors in here. Yeah, why not? Let's play with color just to see what we like.
Cool.
But I'm browsing through the brushes to see what would look good on a jellyfish, and there's so many options, as you can see.
Yeah, a lot.
I usually go for line work, and so I'm not usually looking for too much texture in my work. But I'm gonna go for some of these comic things maybe. I like copier rat.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Let's try to change the color to grayscale. Yeah, I like the texture on that. Let's do a bit of a lower flow
Mm-hmm.
and a wider brush. It's a little dark, so let's go even lighter. And I'm going to add a new layer at this point to add some texture so that I can make this a multiply layer.
Oh, nice.
And what that means is it'll keep the line work of the drawing underneath, but add this color on top, as you can see. So I'm not losing the detail of what I've drawn.
Right.
But I do want to make this texture a bit more obvious. I think I need a different type of brush.
Gotcha. Really blow it out.
Yeah. Maybe Kyle or someone in chat has a good recommendation for a nice textured brush from this
Yeah.
pack.
Let us know. And I'm interested to know that your workflow is to do, oh, that's good, to do a multiply layer, because I know you could do that. You could also just do a normal layer but drop it below your line work.
That's true. I usually tend to go multiply every single time. I like building on my
Yeah.
work, and I think it's because of my painting background.
Right.
I actually didn't show any of these, but I could real quick.
Let's do it. Yeah, you can put it below the GoPro.
So I like acrylic painting and oil painting, and so with acrylic and oil, I tend to do a lot of layers. I'll show this one.
GoPro.
It's upside down for me, but does that mean it's upside down for them?
Perfect.
Cool. So
Wow.
you can see on the ground, I have just like a bunch of colors that I've built up with my brush. I like doing thin washed out layers, and I like building on top of it. Even if I'm doing like a gradient in the sky, you can see that I even have some dark behind that white color.
Yeah.
I just like building stuff up.
Right.
I like that a lot.
And not so much of pushing and pulling.
Yeah. So I like painting classically, and so drawing on the iPad, I've been learning how to make it the same or comparable, and I really like doing the multiply layers. Looks like Kyle has a recommendation of the Conti crayon,
Ooh.
so I'm gonna try to pull that up.
See if we can find it.
Yeah, that's also a little bit difficult, but I feel like it'd be at the top. Yeah, Conti crayon. Cool.
Nice.
And let's change the color.
Thanks, Kyle. It's nice to have the creator of the brushes in
I
chat.
know, so handy. So let's reduce the flow, increase size. That's pretty nice. I'm gonna
Stuff.
do a little bit lighter. I like it. And I don't care if I go outside of the lines, because again, I'm still sketching at this point.
Right.
I'm not going to be super neat with my drawing, and I think that's fine. I like getting the general shapes across.
In chat, we have about 20 minutes, or 19 minutes and 12 seconds to be exact, to get your challenge submissions in. So hopefully this is inspiring you as we work on an underwater theme, a space.
Pattern.
Yes, for your mer creature to live in. We're challenging you to make a mer creature using Kyle's MerMay brush kit. You can use Photoshop on the desktop, or you can use Photoshop Sketch, which is what we're using here. Or if you don't have Photoshop, feel free to download this. It's free. Really easy to get started on iOS or Android. So you're gonna use the app or Photoshop, use the brush kit that Kyle has provided, and then when it is complete, you're gonna export a JPEG or a PNG and share the illustration using the form that we provide in the challenge tab. So it's a nice WooBox gallery so that we can all see your work as it's uploaded. And then if you are chosen as the winner, you could win a free year of Creative Cloud. If you've already won, still please continue to enter because we still just want to feature your work. And hopefully we can do some critiquing and give you some feedback in the next 20 minutes or so.
Sweet. So as you can see, I'm building up with these different brushes,
Ooh.
kind of drawing on top of, just drawing on top of everything.
I love that. You really are just layering and drawing on top like you're painting.
Yeah, I really like to think of this whole application as me painting, which is nice. Except I have an undo button, which is really, really great.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Undo is very important for when you make those mistakes and you want to get rid of them.
Right. Yeah. So when you are traditionally painting, do you ever reach for like the Command Z?
Undo. Oh my gosh, I have in real life definitely done the motion. It's so crazy. Your brain does weird things to you when you have these patterns in your head that you have established.
It's so sad.
It's sad but interesting too.
Yeah.
Like I can't help but be intrigued by it all.
Right. You're like, what am I?
Yeah, there's a really cool book that I love that I was actually going to do drawings based on this book called You Are Not So Smart.
Oh.
And it's like 51, I believe, or something around there. 51 ways that you're deluding yourself.
I'd love to know how I'm deluding myself. Tell me more.
Each chapter is based on like a cognitive bias of some sort or a phenomenon that humans do as a species that contradicts what would be logical, based on either behavior going on around them, or based on, like I'll give an example. One of them is the sunk cost fallacy, which is all about gambling, and so it's actually nicknamed the gambler's fallacy, where if you've invested an amount of money into something, you feel like it owes you and that you're going to get paid out. And so people who sit on slot machines and keep putting money in are like, eventually it has to pay me out. I've put in this much time or this much money.
Right.
But that's not actually proven. You're still doing not even 50, you're doing a certain percentage chance every single time you play. And so nothing has been invested in a way that'll give back to you.
Yeah.
Another really cool one is the bystander effect, which happens a lot in emergency situations. And so a good example is I'm from New York City, and so if someone fell on the subway tracks, no one usually reacts because everyone is like, oh, someone else will take care of it. No one responds in an emergency situation appropriately. And so when you see something like that happen, what you should do is you should point at people and give them specific roles so they feel responsible, and so they carry out that action. So if you were to say fall and you need help, point at someone and be like, you call 911, you help me, et cetera, because people will just stand around.
Wow, that's really cool.
So that whole book is really cool because it goes through a ton of different research around a bunch of this stuff. It makes you feel like you have no control over anything you do.
Is it a nice feeling?
It is. It's just like, I love knowledge, and so when I can read a book like that and know more about why we're so weird and how we're just animals at the end of the day, I really like that. It also just gives me more awareness into some of the habits I have and understanding them a bit better.
Yeah.
So I really like that kind of stuff.
Interesting. So it's called You're Not So Smart.
You Are Not So Smart. It's also a podcast now. Every chapter is a different fallacy, so you can even just like read the ones that are interesting to you.
Hey, cool. I'm so interested.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
So before I ask you about podcasts, which I'm going to do, I'm going to say what's up. We've got Anna Daviscourt in the chat. She's one of our current creative residents here at Adobe.
Awesome.
Yeah,
nice
Anna's
to meet
awesome.
you.
Yeah, nice to meet you or see you again. Anna is kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to illustration, but I believe, Anna, you're working on a children's book during your residency.
That's really cool.
Which is really awesome. We have Chelsea Burton in the chat, who is one of the alumni for the creative residency. So that's great.
That's really cool. Is it a nice community when you graduate? I don't know very much about it.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It must be a pretty small class because it's only been going on for a couple of years. And I'm sure Chelsea or Anna could do a nice little elevator pitch of what the Adobe Creative Residency is. But basically, every year, a group of creatives of all different kind of influences are given a year to work with Adobe to pursue a passion project or a pet project that
cool.
they want to pursue. And they are giving talks and they're working on these things and doing events, networking. Really awesome.
All super valuable stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this year we have photographers, graphic designers, illustrators, experiential illustrators.
What is that?
It's like creating a 3D space
Yes. Awesome.
experience out of illustrations. Yeah,
Very
really
cool.
cool. So learn more about that. Yes, Tim, thank you for posting the link. Appreciate it. So podcasts.
Podcasts.
Which
yeah.
ones do you listen to?
I actually used to have a podcast.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's familiar with the 5x5 network, but we got picked up by them.
Cool.
And I did it for a year with my friend Liz,
Mhm.
where we were doing a podcast for women in their 20s. And all the
Perfect.
different problems that we would come across just day
Mhm.
to day. And it was a lot of fun, but a lot of work. We released an episode every week for a year. And so when I was way more active in the community, I listened to it a lot more. And then I kind of honestly got a little bit sick of it being in
Yeah.
it and then deciding not to pursue it full
Right.
time. And so I stopped listening for a while, but recently I've been getting back into it. I'm listening to Reply All. I'm listening to My Brother and Me, which is super fun.
I'm going to the show in June.
I feel like you know about them.
Yes.
Yeah, they're great. They're a bunch of brothers who play D&D together, and also I don't know, they do everything. They make weird characters in video games and post videos about it.
Yeah,
They're just hilarious.
it is hilarious. And they're from West Virginia. So as an Ohioan, I'm like, I get you.
Gotcha.
I get you.
Yeah, their humor is really great.
Yeah, totally. So you got some humor in there, but you also have some sciencey stuff with the You're Not So Smart
Yes.
podcast. Madison says, welcome to Night Vale. Have you ever listened to that one?
No, I haven't. Is that one? I guess I should listen to more. Is that one I should listen to?
Yeah, it's really, really popular. And Madison, I don't know how you would explain it, but the way I would say it's like a fictional news report
Oh, that's cool.
about this town or city called Night Vale. And
I
it's
think I might have heard of this.
yeah, it's very absurd and kind of spooky. It's
Is
very
it like
strange.
a horror story sort of deal?
Kind of. It's almost like Orwellian,
Ooh.
weird stuff is happening, aliens, people are disappearing, but it's just reported
Gotcha.
on this news show.
I feel like I would love this.
Yeah, Madison says War of the Worlds mixed with Lovecraft.
Yep, I would definitely like this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And there's a lot of it. It's a big story. All right, chat, what else? What other podcasts do you listen to? Tell us more.
Mm-hmm.
So you did a podcast.
I've done a lot of stuff, I guess.
It seems like you have.
Whatever I'm interested in, I just want to jump into it because it's all creative in some way, shape, or form. However you can express yourself creatively, I feel like it's powerful to explore new mediums, explore new technology, because we want to have artists represented in all these spaces. It's not just developers that should be in these maybe seemingly tech spaces. Like VR drawing is so cool. There's an artist I can't remember the name of, but he's been doing animations and VR artwork with the quill brush, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's super interactive, and he's the only one doing it right now, which I think is crazy. I should probably jump on that.
Yeah, you definitely should.
But yeah, I think whatever you're doing to express your creativity is really, really rad. And if you can get people to understand things more easily by using artwork, I think that's also super cool.
Definitely. One of my friends who I think is currently going to the same school I graduated from, her name's Sid, and she does something similar. I think she also paints with the quill brush and does
Really?
animations. Yeah, it's on the screen right now.
Oh yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, and this is her niche, so not a lot of people are doing it, like you said. It's gonna be
Kind
the
of
future.
pioneers, yeah.
She looks like a pioneer right here.
Exactly. It's so cool.
Yeah,
I really respect that work.
very nice. And I am also very inspired by your willingness to just jump into something when you're interested, because I have so much fear. I'm like,
Oh, there's no reason to be
I
afraid.
know, but I just want to
Yeah.
be the best.
Oh, I'm not afraid
Right
of
off the
being
bat.
the worst.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's it. You got to be okay and comfortable with failing and maybe not being the best at what you're doing, but if you're doing something new and cool, like that's exciting and fun.
Right.
Don't put yourself down. Like that's also really cool.
Right, and at least you're doing it.
Exactly. A lot of people talk about doing it and then
Mhm.
never end up doing it. So by taking a step forward, you're ahead of everyone else already.
It's scary, but it's
worth
true.
it.
Yeah. Ooh, Jamie, this is a great question. When do you know you're done with something? I tend to overwork things because I can't figure out when to stop.
Yeah, I definitely have been guilty of overworking stuff as well. I think I'm at the point of completing now just because when I feel like I'm not making it better, I feel like I'm just adding for the sake of adding and it's becoming more meditative.
Yeah.
I need to stop because it's super relaxing to draw, as anyone who draws knows. So
Mhm.
you can continue working stuff forever. But once you get the general idea down, like I have the general idea, I can see contrast wise like what this pattern could look like. I could maybe move some things around, but I can at least see like the overall shape of it all.
Yeah.
I think this is good. And I have some shapes I probably want to repeat a little bit more, but I'm happy with the way this is and the way it looks for blocking it out.
Yeah.
This is what I call a sketch. So from here, I think I should jump into, I'm gonna hide both of these layers and jump back into this cat drawing that I'm not super happy with yet.
Mhm. Well, that was kind of your first almost warm up.
It was a warm up. I love doing figure drawing for warming up.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, I should do more of that. Oh, we actually had figure drawing here at Adobe. I help run a club called Doodle Days. It was a club that I started with a couple other illustrators here at Adobe for the internal team, the internal employees, to be able to do some drawing on the side, because we do a lot of design work, but actually not a lot of drawing.
Yeah. Right.
So recently we had a figure drawing course that Renee, one of the people who works at Adobe Live too, she helped organize. And so we had a live figure drawing person come in from the, I guess it's an official community and you have to get approval to get them to come in. And everyone just got out the big newsprint and started sketching with pastels and things like that. It was super cool.
Yeah, really awesome. I think Renee might be in the chat, or maybe she was, but come back, Renee, if you're here. Tell us about it.
It was awesome, Renee. Thank you for helping us put that together.
Yeah.
Other ones we've done are like still lives and whatever. I mean, like just getting people drawing I think is super important.
Totally. Kind of get out of your work mode, open your mind a little.
So I might delete some of these ones I had started with. I'm gonna ask the chat again for some help on what I can add to this composition. You guys were super helpful for the ocean one.
Yeah, chat, let's get creative.
I want to do something funny, like, I don't know, mouse toy, I guess, would be good.
Hairball.
Hairball. Oh gosh, I hate finding those.
When I had cats, they never had hairballs.
Really, never.
Yeah.
You're so lucky.
I guess so. Paul says, I was at the live drawing night. Hi, Sarah, you're great.
Oh yeah.
What's up,
Thanks,
Paul?
Paul. It was
you
fun
doing?
having you. Your drawings were beautiful.
Yeah, I saw them on your Instagram, I'm pretty sure. What up, Paul? Jim says you should add a mouse. Yep, you have that. Maybe a live one.
Oh,
knows?
live mouse. Poor live mouse.
Yeah. Well, Jason says half of a bird, a dead bird.
Oh gosh, this is getting morbid really
Yeah.
quickly. I'll draw a collar.
Yeah, cool. Collar, nice.
Collar's cute. My cats don't wear collars though. I wish they would.
They refuse?
They'll like bite it off because at this point they've never worn one,
Right.
and so they're super not used to it.
Gotcha. They just want to be naked.
They are naked as the way they came.
Whenever we take the collar off our dog, we're like, you're naked.
Aw.
What
Well,
else?
This cat looks funny.
But I do like the idea of a full body.
I do too. I want to do a simple shape for the cat body. So they sit really funny,
They do.
and their tail is never up. It's always like around them.
Curled around the little toes. Jason says kitten mittens.
Kitten mittens are the best.
Yeah.
I like that suggestion.
Or just their little, well, you already have the little paw prints, little jelly beans.
Jelly beans are good.
I like how the food bowl just says cat on it.
Yep, that's the name of the cat. Cat.
Cats. Ooh, Richard, this is a good one, a fish skeleton.
Oh, I would like that. That would be fun to draw.
Totally. Ooh, chat, our challenge submission deadline has turned red, which means we have under 5 minutes to get your submissions in. If you're just joining us, make sure you check out the challenge tab that is in the chat pod. Click that and get more information about the challenge. We're challenging you to create a mer creature using Photoshop Sketch, our Photoshop CC, and the brush kit that Kyle provided for MerMay. So if you can't get something done in 4 minutes, no worries. Work on your submission and submit it next stream. We have 2 more streams after this. get to working.
Mm-hmm. Kind of drew some fish bones. Looks like a flower, though. I need to fix that later.
A fishbone flower. Cool.
Cute flower.
Mm-hmm. And while you're working on this, I'm going to check out to see if we have more submissions.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we got so many more in the last like 10 minutes.
Yay!
I'm just going to give you
Good
all
job,
a sneak
everyone.
peek. So cool. I love this guy. And don't be intimidated if maybe you are just an emerging artist and maybe you aren't super comfortable using digital media or mediums. Don't be intimidated by these submissions. Just do your thing, get your work done, and we'll take a look in about probably 10 minutes.
Sweet. Man, time flies.
Sure does.
Do we have any more suggestions here? We got our mice, got our fish bones, got our cat toy.
Let's see. Anything
Yarn.
in chat?
Do another yarn ball.
Yeah. Classic. Trying to think of things that cats like to play with.
Boxes. Oh man, how could I not have thought of that?
Mm-hmm. What is that game called?
Neko Atsune.
Yeah, that one.
Literally translates to cat collector in Japanese.
That's what it is.
It's a game where you're just collecting cats and it's amazing.
I played it for a while, but then I kind of just stopped caring. It's like, these cats don't care about me.
It's true. I mean, you don't do much besides put out food for these cats,
Yeah.
so.
Ooh, a laser pointer.
Oh, I will warn the audience though, laser pointers are actually bad for cats because they can't catch them and so it causes them anxiety.
Yeah.
Cat facts, man.
A little neurotic, probably. Ooh, a paper bag, says Kristen.
Paper bag is not safe for them, but they do love going inside of them.
You got all these cat safety facts.
I know, I'm too parental.
Yeah. They are your babies.
They are my babies. It's sad.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Stephanie says catnip, and we were talking about catnip earlier, but it would just look like
A pile.
a pile of things.
Pile of maybe a hairball.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it would look like. It could be a hairball or a catnip.
Yeah. Interpret it however you'd wish.
This is no, I can't live with that.
No.
Even as a sketch.
Too abstract.
Too much. But the
Cannot.
boxes are good. Yarn ball is good.
Cats.
I like the
cats,
collar. I'll add another one down here.
Ooh, Anna says a bowl of milk or a milk carton.
That's cute.
Yeah, probably also not actually good for cats.
I'm glad you know. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna stop at this point, but no, we should keep going with the cat facts.
Yeah,
Milk is
right.
also not good for the digestive system of cats, especially if it's not a cat's milk.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But I like the idea of milk. Milk carton.
Mm-hmm.
Milk
Like,
carton.
even if it's not right, it still reminds you of a cat.
It's still something I can draw.
Yeah, Jeff says the scared cat, like the Halloween cat with the arched back.
Oh yeah.
Kind of quintessential.
How do I represent milk without just saying milk?
Little cow.
Oh yeah, a little cow would be good.
Scratching post, that's been submitted a couple times. A butterfly. Cute.
Oh, a butterfly would be cute.
Man, the pencil brush is just so good.
It's good. Is this one? This kind of looks like a pig.
Did you ever play Harvest Moon?
Yes, that's what I'm drawing right now from my memory of Harvest
Oh
Moon.
my gosh.
Yes.
That's my favorite game.
It's so
series
good.
of all time.
It's so good. It's probably my favorite too.
I've never met someone else, actually one other person who really liked Harvest
It's
Moon.
so good.
I still play it.
The game mechanics are amazing.
Mm-hmm. And it's so
Did you
boring.
play that new one that was supposed to be like a new version of it?
Rune Factory?
No, it was actually like all about making a farm and like doing the exact same thing, but a modern version of it. I swear if you Google
Stardew Valley?
Yes.
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 Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did play that.
I
Really
played
fun.
that for a little while. It was
Yeah.
pretty close, pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked the mechanics in Stardew Valley, I think maybe more than Harvest Moon, but I didn't like the aesthetic.
Yeah, the aesthetic was too pixely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need like the cute JRPG look.
They're missing the style of the classic game.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Madison also loves Harvest Moon.
It's so good. It's so good. N64 classic Harvest Moon.
Mm-hmm. Nora says a lot of my friends like Harvest Moon, but I've never gotten to play it ever.
Oh, you should definitely play it.
They have it for pretty much every platform. So
No excuses.
yeah, just pick one up. Pick a random one up. I'll just hand you one. I have a lot. Many DS cartridges.
Yeah, I haven't played many of the DS ones. Are they pretty good too?
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of them, and They're all pretty similar, but the 3DS ones are good.
This cat looks funny. I kind of want to draw my derpy cat.
Do it! Which one is a derpy cat?
Tyga is a derpy cat.
Oh, the silly one.
She would definitely have like
Is her tongue out all the time?
this sort of face.
Maybe looking in different directions a
It's
little
true,
bit.
actually. I should do that. One of her eyes is always like bigger than the other too.
What?
Yeah, it's really weird.
She's squinting.
That's a little too crazy. I'm gonna leave it like this.
Oh, Anna's playing Rune Factory 4. I think that's one that I have, Anna. And Wayne says, I got the GameCube Harvest Moon, but I can never get into it. You didn't like A Wonderful Life?
Aw, that's a good game.
That was one of my faves. But I actually recently watched a video of someone ranking the games like in recent times, not back when they were made. And I was like, oh yeah, these are pretty bad sometimes. But I appreciate them.
I mean, nostalgia is a really strong thing.
Yes, that is the power behind it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're getting somewhere with this. I feel like these have really wacky shapes going on.
Mm-hmm. Very playful. And we have hit our deadline for the challenge submissions. So if you're still working, no worries. If you submit it, it'll just be considered in the next segment. So I'll wait for all of these submissions to get loaded, and then we'll look through them because there are quite a few.
I am excited to see these.
Yeah.
I'm excited so many people submitted and weren't intimidated by the prompts. It's really nice.
Yeah. So brave. Appreciated. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so the way that we're going to do this is we're going to look at them all, and then I'll kind of condense the group so it isn't such an overwhelming choice at the end. No problem. But we will look at them all on screen. No worries.
Sweet.
Anna says the original Harvest Moon was awesome. Was that the 64 one?
I believe. Oh, was there a Super Nintendo one before
Maybe.
that? Oh my gosh, I don't know. I only played the N64 one.
Yeah, the first one I played was the PS1, just the original PlayStation one.
Wow, PS1, that's crazy. You missed the classic.
Yeah, but they're pretty much the same game.
Okay, as long as you know for sure.
Yeah, it's like similar characters, and I've definitely read enough about the old ones, maybe even read some fan fiction about the old ones.
Nice.
I'm into it.
So you know
I'm
what's
into
up.
it, yes. What's up, Renee? She's back, and she says kitties.
Aw,
Yep,
kitties are here.
and they are staying.
They are. I'm fixing some of the ones I started with because the faces were kind of weird.
Even though it is just a sketch.
It is, I know. I'm already like thinking too much about
Yeah,
it.
get nitty gritty.
This is my life.
Glenna is wondering, does the challenge end after today? Yes, we have a different challenge every day, and they're usually based off of something that's going on in the real world, like it's MerMay or current events, or it might be based off of one of our artists that we have this week. So stick around.
Cat bowl. Let's draw a better cat bowl.
James says the first Harvest Moon was Super Nintendo in 1998.
Wow. I should play that.
Yes. Do you have a Super Nintendo?
I
Emulator?
did
Oh,
have
okay.
a real Super Nintendo. I had all these. I had Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GameCube, PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and
No Xboxes?
no Xboxes.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I've never been
Xbox
into
person.
it.
I got rid of all of these when I moved from New York City.
Aw.
I literally sold everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to rebuy those again at some point.
That's true.
They're so good.
So good. And you can just use emulators now.
I can, but it's
But
not the same.
That's true. You don't have the actual controller in your hand.
It's hard though to get the display to work on these old consoles with new TVs.
Yeah, right.
It's super hard. So I love it when they remake these games in the store for the PlayStation or I guess with the Switch would be the other one.
Yeah,
It's
they
really
kind of
nice.
revamp them.
Yeah.
Nora's asking, do we have other favorite JRPGs? And
I
we
could
already
go
talked
forever.
about this like off stream.
We did. The first JRPG I ever played was Legend of Dragoon, which I don't think anyone's gonna know because
Sounds familiar.
it's
Look it up.
super old. It's PS1. It had 4 discs.
Whoa.
I never played Final Fantasy VII.
That was my first one.
I wish I had because I don't think I can play at this point. The graphics get to me too much.
Yeah, even the new one that they're kind of making pretty.
Kind of making
PS4.
pretty.
Yeah, it's like there's
Yeah.
only so much you can do.
It's a bit old for me.
Yeah.
now.
But Legend of Dragoon kind of looks like Final Fantasy VII.
It does. It's a classic JRPG. It
Mhm.
was super good.
Man. And you said Okami.
Okami.
Also love.
Oh, I actually have a list of games that have inspired me that I guess I should say now.
Yes. List them right now.
Yeah, so Wind Waker was actually the first Zelda game that I beat first in my family. Ocarina of Time, my dad
Proud.
beat first.
Oh, wow. Cool dad.
I know. My dad actually loves video games, and we used to land Dungeon Siege. Me, my dad, brother, and sister, for Christmas, we'd come home and just land Dungeon Siege because we were super nerds. We also played D&D one year,
I love
so that's
that.
my family.
Man, I want that to be my future family tradition.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I would definitely recommend it. Okami is another one. Firewatch, I love the 3D
yeah.
art from Firewatch. I follow those artists. They're amazing. They actually just got acquired by Valve. So Valve is actually owning Campo Santos now, which has been responsible for Firewatch and is going to make a new game soon. So Valve is making games again, which is crazy. And they're super rad. You should definitely follow the artist. I can't remember her name, unfortunately, but if you Google Campo Santos, she's the only, or at least the key artist working on all the assets, which is crazy.
That's amazing.
Journey and Abzu were made by a company I love. They recently spinned off and made their own company called Giant Squid.
Huh.
And I just love their artwork, and so I've been following them for a long time. But they used to be part of another game company, I think is the name of the
Oh, it's called
company.
Another Game
It was
Company?
called Another Game Company.
Just
and
another
then,
game company.
Yeah, then they spun off and created Giant Squid, and I love them, and I highly recommend all their games. They're amazing and super relaxing. I also have Pyre, which is created by a really cool game studio, and the artwork from that game is just fantastic. It's kind of a sports game, but it's a role-playing game through a sports game, and it's super unique. I've never played anything like it.
How's it spelled? P-I-R-E?
Pyre.
Oh.
It's so rad.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Cool.
So those are some of the games that have been inspiring me lately.
Oh, they made Bastion.
Yes, they are also well known for Bastion.
Very cool. I love Bastion.
The style of their games is really iconic.
Yeah.
So what's the name of the company again?
Supergiant Games.
Okay, yeah, Supergiant Games. They're super rad. Anything that they make is usually pretty good.
Very nice. Well, now we're going to turn off Nerd Light podcast
For now.
now that we've shared all of our deep dark secrets.
Us being paired together is pretty good.
Yes, I would agree. Totally agree. Hi, everyone. So we're going to look at some of these submissions because our deadline has hit and we have quite a few to look at. So we'll look at them pretty quickly, and then while I'm condensing, maybe you can chat about what you've done so far. But first,
Yeah,
let's look at all these submissions.
I'm excited.
All right. So you can see our beautiful WooBox gallery. You can also look at these if you click on the WooBox link in the challenge tab. Our first submission is by Heather. Beautiful
I love
colors.
those colors.
Mm-hmm.
The purple and green, classic mermaid.
Yeah, seriously classic. It almost reminds me of Lisa Frank a little bit. The colors.
That's
texture.
true. Yeah, the texture is super cool. It really has a scaly texture to it.
Mhm. Yeah, I wonder if that comes from the Kyle brushes in the kit or if you just
Yeah.
made that yourself. So Heather, if you're here, let us know how you did that texture.
It's nice.
Very cool. So this is by Julia Hesselbrock.
Very cool. Love the warm tones with the cool background.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. You don't usually see the mermaid with kind of the maroon,
No,
orangey
I like
colors.
that. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you feel like you're in the desert underwater.
Right. I'm looking at this nice texture here. Almost looks like sequins.
I wonder how they did that pattern too. I'm learning things through these submissions.
Julia, if you're here, did you use the Kyle Brushes mermaid kit? Let us know. Nice job. This one is by James. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger.
Wow, I love the background and the whole mood of the piece is
Yeah.
really unique.
It's kind of like melancholy or mysterious.
Yeah, I like the neon colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially mixed with the kind of moody background.
I love it.
Nice. And it's always nice to see the background given a little more love. Even if the challenge was specifically for the character, you kind of did the whole thing. Nice. Oh, Julia says, yep, I used the brush kit. Cool. This is by Omar. It also has some beautiful textures going on.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a watercolor painting.
Mm-hmm.
I like the seaweed on the bottom. Different types of seaweed in the background. Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a brush pattern. I like it a lot.
Right, right. I think, yeah, they're two different brushes. This is by Jamie.
Oh my gosh.
Catfish.
You win my heart.
You're pandering, Jamie.
Oh my goodness, the facial expression.
Yeah, especially the little spotlight. It's like, here I am.
I kind of like the tail too. It looks like a betta fish.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like
Definitely.
you need some anatomy, some fish anatomy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice job, Jamie.
I like it.
And chat, I don't know if you knew this, but you can click on each other's little icons in the chat to check out each other's Behance portfolios. So check out Jamie's portfolio. See if he has any other stuff.
Whoa. Is
This
there a
is
cat
cool.
fighting?
Yeah.
Catfish is fighting another sea creature.
Scary guy.
Yeah, he has a trident.
Mm-hmm.
And the jellyfish going on in the middle.
Wow.
I like the circular, like, composition.
Yeah, it's kind of chaotic.
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of motion.
Mm-hmm. Another cat.
I love the facial expression.
Yeah, right. And this thick line is really interesting on this creature.
Yeah, I like the different line weights depending on what you want your attention to be drawn to.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job.
Yeah, very cool. Nice job, Ryan. This is by Wes. Ooh, so much
Action shot.
dynamicism.
Yeah, I love the perspective on the weapon. It's really
Mhm.
cool.
Right.
Looks like an arrow almost.
Right.
Action pose for sure. Reminds me of like
Super good.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, if Aquaman was
A woman.
Aqua Woman.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Aqua
into it.
Person. Sweet, and this nice use of strokes to show the motion of the water.
Yeah, the movement of the water around the weapon is really nice.
Cool, great job, Wes. All right, this is by Nora.
Aw, cute.
Yeah, so cute.
Aw, it reminds me of Ponyo. Like a little
Mhm.
Ponyo drawn sketch, but done much better.
Right. Even this
So
little
cute.
detail, the scalloping detail is nice.
Yeah.
Very faint texture in the background.
I like the color choice too.
Yeah, very monochromatic and simple. Cool, great job, Nora.
Mm-hmm.
This is by Margarita.
Whoa.
Just getting a little treat.
Having some sweets.
Yeah, be
Above
careful.
ground. I guess she can just dive back underwater and not worry about the bees.
Yeah,
so
right.
that's a good trick. If I were
Yeah.
a mermaid, I'd probably do the same thing.
If only I could be a mermaid. Escape all the bees forever.
I like the expressions. They're really
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, they definitely have some sort of character.
Yeah.
Nice. And even a hierarchy, like the smaller, the medium, and then the full figure in the front.
Yeah, and the color choices are nice too. The
Mhm.
like cooler background color with the bright water.
Yeah,
It's nice.
nice. Great job. This one is by Margarita, and I think we're almost to the end. This is by Tima.
Whoa.
Very cool. One of our previous winners.
I love the patterns going on here.
Yeah.
Colors are pretty similar. It seems like I'm in a dark cave or something along
Mhm.
those lines.
Right, and I wonder what it's holding on to. Like a squid? Maybe a tentacle?
Yeah.
A whale?
Kind of looks like whale fins.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
Yeah, very nice, Tima. Great job. This is by Vincent. Ooh, some more moodiness. Serving up moody looks.
Yeah, I like the moodiness.
Mm-hmm. Wonder what she's thinking.
She looks like she's listening to a punk rock album.
Yeah, she's feeling some things.
I like it. The colors definitely reflect the mood too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice. And this nice use of the...
The pattern brushes, yeah.
Yeah.
These are gorgeous.
I bet this really saves time.
Yeah.
Very cool. Nice job, Vincent. It's by Suba.
Wow.
So many of these, like, distressed,
Yeah,
swooning
very
mermaids.
moody.
Mm-hmm. Even this kind of grayscale background.
It looks like an ink spill possibly
Mhm.
happened.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Like an oil spill?
Yeah, that's what I see, but it's definitely moody. Got some
Right.
ink splatter going on. This is like the kind of drawings and paintings I do where I dip a toothbrush in ink and then I like brush against the brush and splatter
Right.
all over the painting.
So dangerous.
Yeah, you get it everywhere.
Cool job,
I
Suba.
like it.
Mm-hmm. This is by Jordan. Pose.
Oh man, pose man.
Fierce. Nice.
Nice. He's got an action pose going on.
Uh-huh. And I like this use of these texture brushes to make almost like a amorphic.
Yeah, bubbly backgrounds.
Right. It's not super descriptive, but it gives you a feeling.
Yeah, it's definitely a mood. You get a really, really strong mood here.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
a-
line work is really nice and flowy too.
Right. This character design kind of reminds me of Steven Universe, like with the big hair,
Yeah, actually.
the flat colors.
Definitely fierce.
Very nice. Good job, Jordan. This is by Catherine.
Wow.
Whoa, some photo compositing. Mixed with the brushes? Very cool.
That is cool. I haven't
Yeah.
seen a photo
Mhm.
comp done like this before. It's really nice.
Cool. At first I was going to say, but where are the brushes? But you definitely used them down here.
Yeah, the background definitely has them.
Cool. Great job. That was by Catherine. And that is it. Hi, I'm a placeholder. Please ignore me.
Nice. I like
All
the
right.
bubbles in this one too.
Yeah, there you go, the planets. So in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to pick kind of maybe like a top 5 or top 7.
Gotcha.
And you can pick from there for someone to maybe win a free year of Creative Cloud.
Whoa,
Yeah.
nice deal.
Very good little gift. But while we're doing that, do you want to chat about what you've done
Yes.
so far?
So let's do a quick recap. I talked a lot about my background and about the plan for the next 2 days. Today was really about getting to know me, getting to know what we're going to do, and starting to work on these patterns in Photoshop Sketch. And so we've outlined some common elements we want to include for both. I really like the ocean scene that's coming together here, so I might focus a bit more on this one, but tonight I'll go home and also finish up this cat pattern, just as far as sketches go. And then tomorrow we're going to be working on creating vector lines out of these and coloring them in using color.adobe.com to pick out a different theme. Yeah, to do some color choices. So yeah, today was about creating a pattern, thinking about what we want to apply to the 3D objects on day 3. Tomorrow we're going to work on creating vector lines, creating a 3D object using Illustrator and Photoshop, and preparing everything to bring it into dimensions for day 3. I really want to thank everyone for their questions today too, and about not being intimidated to jump into 3D. I think it's super exciting for everyone. And as you guys are aware, I'm not afraid of showing in progress sketches and stuff like that. So 3D can be intimidating in the same way, where you don't really know what you're doing when you get into the program. But as long as you're stumbling in the right direction, it's all progress, and people are going to be super happy with what you make. I promise.
Yeah, don't be scared, because at least you're doing it.
Yeah, and you'll be super happy with what you make.
Yeah, there's nothing better than actually seeing yourself like improve after time spent working.
Yeah.
Very cool. Jamie says, #inspired.
Yay.
Yay, so true. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The top 8 to choose from. So I'll take you through these. We really like this one because it had like the full background composition.
Yeah.
We got our fun cat, sassy cat.
He's pretty cute.
Mm-hmm.
I like the dynamicism.
Yeah.
Dynamicism, yes.
Something dynamic for sure.
Dynamic composition.
Yeah, lots of chaos going on here. I like it.
Very cute.
Yeah, and it's kind of peaceful. It gives you a definite mood.
Definitely serene.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I like this mood too.
Right. This looks like it belongs in some sort of illustrated book. Like
Yeah,
you could put some
comic.
copy here. Kind of goes around it. Perfect.
Very moody.
Mm-hmm. Almost editorial. Like there's definitely some sort of story behind this.
Definitely.
And our photo composition, which is pretty sweet.
Very cool.
Yeah. Does anything really stand out to you so far? Or we can kind of narrow things
Man,
down.
I'm gonna go with my heart,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna have to go with the cat one.
This one?
This one is fantastic because the anatomy of the fish is also pretty accurate.
Yeah,
I love the
right.
pattern going on the tail.
Mhm.
I think it's a really good showpiece.
Very cool.
So good job.
Yeah, Jamie, you are the winner, so congratulations. Thank you so
Yay,
much for
circle
entering.
claps.
Yeah, thanks for entering our challenge. And if you were not chosen, not to worry, we have 2 more chances today, as well as more challenges in the next 2 days. So keep submitting, keep working. Jamie, great job.
Good job.
Awesome character design. He says thank you.
It is definitely a character. I really like it. You should evolve this character for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we had a lot of great top options and a
They were
lot of
all
great
fantastic.
submissions in general. And we have about 5 minutes left. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, chat, if you have any questions left, feel free to ask them now, be it about just illustration or your 3D work.
Yeah. Definitely
Anything.
if there's anything you want to learn in the next 2 days that you don't think that I've put in the schedule, feel free to mention it now and we can see if we can fit it in.
Right.
Definitely want to cover whatever anyone else wants to learn.
Right, so we're going to be covering, you're already doing some sketching, showing the mobile apps. Tomorrow you're going to be showing color.
And line work in Illustrator Draw, so vectorizing the raster illustrations.
Cool. And then jumping into 3D on the 3rd day.
Yep, jumping into 3D, using Illustrator and Photoshop to create a 3D model, and then using Dimension to do the composition and rendering.
Right. Yeah, no one. So how to pick colors, that'll be tomorrow. Hopefully. Yes.
I see a question about how to access Cinema 4D through After Effects. You should definitely be able to find that if you Google it. And if you Google Devon Ko, Devonko, she has a whole tutorial on how to access it. And she has a bunch of intro videos that you can check out if you want to start playing around with that. I think she's a great resource to tap into.
Perfect. Martin says, great. Glenna wants to know, have you dabbled in 2D animation? It may be a nice combination with your illustrated background in Photoshop.
I actually have. I've done some simple GIFs. So on my website, it's very subtle, but this cat in the top left corner, he actually does move.
Oh, cute.
It's inspired by an old DOS game that I used to play called Alley Cat. And so, yeah, I've dabbled in GIF animation and simple animation as well with 2D stuff, but nothing too complex. I feel like that would be a lot of fun though. You're right. I should dabble with that a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's a very meditative process, especially if you go frame by frame.
Yeah.
Richard, really looking forward to the difference between artistic 3D work rather than the engineering 3D work that I do every day.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds fun. Yeah.
Richard, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? Is
Yeah.
it SolidWorks based?
Let's see. So maybe we can draw some parallels between what you do and what we'll be working on here. Freudy, down the rabbit hole we go. Oh, nice. Thanks,
thank
Susanna.
you for the link.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, John, suggestions for 3D modeling and texturing courses.
Dev & Co. 100%. I highly recommend it. Also, Grayscale Gorilla is an amazing resource. They have a bunch of free stuff as well as tutorials. They're focused on Cinema 4D, but I feel like Cinema 4D is the easiest 3D application for designers to get into.
Really?
So I definitely recommend Grayscale Gorilla and Dev & Co. and playing around with Cinema 4D.
Cool. I've never even opened Cinema 4D, so
It's so fun.
we'll see. See how it goes. Richard says, yeah, SolidWorks and Inventor.
I haven't heard of Inventor. That sounds fun. SolidWorks is for a lot of engineering stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, Chris Cox. What's up, Chris? CAD versus sculpting, clear rendering versus creative design. Huh. Cool.
Gotcha.
Nice. Paula says, I managed to add more to my drawing, so I just upload it and it'll show on the next challenge, correct? Yeah, if you've made substantial changes, it'll be considered. We really want to see like a big difference rather than looking at the same art twice.
Yeah, James Field mentioned that Blender is free. Yes, I should definitely mention that. If you want to just jump into 3D modeling, Blender is free. It is a little bit complex in terms of the interface compared to Cinema 4D, but it's free. And there are tons of tutorials on their websites and on YouTube and everywhere. So that's also a good place to start if you want to try it out.
Very cool. And Martin wants to do work on a collab. So chat, if you ever want to work with each other, you definitely should. You can send each other Behance messages, click on each other's faces or icons, and you can go straight to Behance portfolios. And if you are watching on YouTube, come on over to Behance, because that's where we will see what you're chatting about. That's how you can enter our challenge. That's how you could maybe chat and win, which we do every 30 minutes into the stream. Stick around for that. And we're going to be having another stream right after this, so make sure you stick around. I think somebody said that they had just got done working for the day, so now they're just going to hang out and chat.
Nice.
Super cool. Nice. What time on Thursday? What time on Thursday for what? No One Comics?
Maybe for our stream, it should be the same time every day for tomorrow and Thursday from 11 to 1.
Yes, definitely. So we stream from 9 to 5 during these stream weeks, and some weeks we cover multiple different disciplines, or this week we're mainly just focusing on illustration, which is very cool. And Marguerite's going to submit again. You should.
Nice.
Definitely. Keep working. No one says, I'll stick around. I need to hit a deadline. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's good background for hitting a deadline, I feel like.
yeah, right. Or just feeling like you're working with other people, so you're not so lonely.
Yeah, that's true. You can just listen to me chatter on about 3D stuff or weird cognitive biases.
Yeah. Or, like anime and stuff.
Yeah, that too, or JRPGs.
Yeah. Cool. No one says Sarah is crazy talented.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Sarah, for being here.
I'm happy to be here. This is super exciting. I'm excited to do more 3D stuff.
Woohoo. Cool. So you'll be back tomorrow, and we have more amazingness coming up next. So go get some water, take a stretch, and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Thank you, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.